Hey YouTube, this is Southern Purple One and welcome to Boots on the Ground. Our small business of the day is a custom carpentry shop that does decks, screen porches, bathrooms, kitchen remodels, and custom carpentry. He's an Army vet. He's located in Cary, North Carolina, C-A-R-Y. He has the business there, and I will leave all his contact information, so if you need some home improvements done and you're in this area, check him out. My husband has started purchasing heavy cream to have on hand for cooking instead of milk, as the shelf life is much longer. The standard shelf life of milk is 19 days, whereas heavy cream has a shelf life of up to a month. You can dilute the heavy cream to substitute for milk in recipes. The ratio should be half and half, half water, half heavy cream. So basically it's a 1-to-1 substitution. This person's checking in from Caryville, Tennessee. I watch your post on YouTube every day, and I appreciate it, the information you give us. This information is provided by a lot of people, so I appreciate everyone sending the reports in. Other people are very grateful if you do send a report in. This person went grocery shopping at Walmart this morning. They said everything was pretty well stocked. Most things were priced reasonable. Corn was at 50 cents a ear. Tomatoes were at 98 cents a pound for the tomatoes. But they said, I'm not fooled by the availability of products here. I know bad things are coming. I'm trying to prepare. I buy a case of water every time I go to the store. I'm also learning how to garden and can. I've been converting my cash into 1-ounce silver bars. I'm learning about herbs and to make medicine. So yes, there's negative things out there. Do positive things. Prepare and learn new skills. I work for a bike store in South Florida. Over the past 2 years, and this was during the COVID time, we have not been able to get inventory. That's because the supply chain was all messed up. Now they are fully stocked for the last 2 months. We have seen a huge drop in demand, and he's emphasizing huge. Prices have gone 40% in the past 2 years. Very scary times. I think people are spending their money on food, gas, rent instead of bikes. I was at the Publix today, and while there I saw a manager who was stocking shelves. I asked him if they were having problems getting anything in particular. He said no. He said they are having a problem getting distilled water. He said it's a manufacturer shortage, and Walmart doesn't have it either. They also buy goat milk instead of cow milk, and it's gone up to $6.45 a quart. They're getting it out of California, so probably the shipping cost is high for this. Beginning January 2023, a typical residential customer's monthly bill using 1,000 kilowatt hours will see an approximately 13% increase. The rate change includes the projected fuel price for 2023, but excludes the under-recovered fuel costs from 2022. So that looks like a 13% increase for sure. I got 4 boxes of Sure Gel. Noticed they were out of date. Asked for a discount. Paid for 1 and got the other 3 for free. The employee directed another cashier or another worker to go clear the shelves of the outdated product. Vanilla cones have gone up 39%. Previously, McDonald's had their vanilla cones for $1. Now they are $1.39 plus tax. This is Hope, Arkansas. I only go shopping once a month, and I've been hearing about potato shortages. So on my trip into town, I went to 3 different stores. Walmart, they had the 10-pound bag of russets for $10. The locally owned grocery store had a 15-pound bag for the same price. And the Super One Food had a 10-pound bag for $4.64. Of course, it was the last store I went to, and I already bought 50 pounds, but went ahead and bought 50 pounds more. So definitely shop around. Try to get the best deal. The small grocer I talked to told me they used to be able to get 50 pounds of loose potatoes for $20. He says now they cost them $65. He said he doesn't know how we're going to make it with the price going up the way they are. The price hikes probably hasn't hit Super One Food yet because their price was way lower. I'm eternally thankful to God that we started prepping back in 2008 while my husband was making good money. I didn't have trouble with the TP shortage or any other shortage. Now that he's retired and on a disability from the VA, we're simply trying to keep on top of things. This is in Waco, Texas. I have noticed sporadic availability of the frozen potato products over the past 2 months. Just saw a post on Facebook from a local restaurant, including a few of comments And these comments were basically, I'll read you a few. This is from the Deer Brown House. I guess it's a cafe. And they said they are starting to be some major food shortages again. We're trying our best to take care of our customers, but please have patience and understanding. It isn't as simple as just popping over to Heb's, the grocery store, or Walmart, as they don't carry the same regular restaurant-grade quality products and can often be out there as well. We battle food shortages every week as suppliers simply don't have the products due to the shortages in the supply chain. A current issue is white bread. Last week it was also salmon. This is a helpful tip. Most preppers who put supplies in shelves have open front and side shelves. They don't have a lip on the end or a raised area to hold the food back if there was an earthquake. I'm from California and have experienced firsthand when things fly off a shelf when the earth moves. When the New Madrid fault blew back in 1800, it was felt over half of the country. When that happens again, it will be glass jars and crushed cans everywhere. It could be a huge loss to preppers, so make adjustments now. Very good advice. Protect your investment of food. This is from Renton, Washington, a city not far from Seattle. Last week when I took Dad to see Top Gun and the theater was only a quarter full, I just thought it was due to the movie being out for a while. But today I took him to see a brand new movie, and other than the employees and the two of us, there was not a soul around. No one else was buying tickets or concession. No one else watching the movie we went to see or any other movie for what I could tell. I would not have experienced this movie, or I would not have expected this movie to be considered a hit by any means, but complete empty theater on an opening day was quite bizarre. Even more eerie was that when we left, there was still no one else around. It was 6 p.m. on a Friday, and in a traditional, very popular theater and a busy surrounding area. Movie prices on our area are the same as they were pre-COVID, or perhaps even cheaper. But once you add on the concessions, you're still looking at close to $50 for two people. I suppose that is probably out of the question for most people now that the price of everything else is so inflated. But it's still one of the best ways for me to get my dad, who is less mobile, out of the house. This is the first time we've been to the movie since all the lockdowns and mandates happened, and it's been surprising. This is Toledo, Ohio. Yesterday, I stopped into my local coin store to purchase some 1-ounce silver rounds. I wanted to purchase 60 ounces, and I was informed that the store now has a limit of 40 ounces of the 1-ounce rounds per day. I could still get 60 ounces of silver, but the last 20 ounces would have to be in 10-ounce bars. I have made multiple purchases from the store before, and this was never the policy. I asked the employee why this policy was in place, and he stated that they can't get enough silver to meet demand. He also stated he got a shipment of 1,000 1-ounce rounds on Monday and had less than 300 ounces left. The store also had a limit of 2 ounces of gold per day you could purchase. The store also charged $6 over spot for the silver. The employee stated even though the price of silver is dropping dramatically, the premiums are so high because the store can't get enough in. The employee stated that the big banks are buying up as much silver as they can, which is limiting the supply. On a separate note, I almost walked out of the store when I got there as there was around 10 people waiting in chairs. I thought all these people were ahead of me to purchase something. An employee asked me how they could help me, and I told him I wanted to buy silver rounds. He informed me the people in the chair were all waiting to sell items in the store. He had another employee helping me at the counter, so I didn't have to wait in line. I have never seen so many people waiting to sell their coins and jewelry in my life. This is about the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth capable devices the one lady had that she was experiencing with her freeze dryer. Most of the devices have Wi-Fi circuit boards that snap into an electrical type socket. The board will usually have a sticker or identification on it that reveal ITVIS, Bluetooth, or Wi-Fi, usually the same board for both. And if it doesn't say it in clear English, it will have a MAC address printed that looks like 2F-36-C2-E7-F4-B9. Always the same numbers of digits. That's the unique identifier of Wi-Fi or other signal, and confirms that it is an electric board that enables Wi-Fi. When the device turn it off and unplug it for at least a minute. Carefully unplug the board. There should be a mechanism to allow it to snap out and back in. Stored in a safe place for electronics for possible future use, like an anti-static bag. A hard drive comes in. So there is ways to remove this. Just be very, very careful when you're doing this, because it is electronics. You don't want to damage it or hurt yourself. Probably can find some YouTube videos to tell you how to do this in depth. This person said, your lessons on finding water during an emergency really hit home. I live just 2 miles from Lake Michigan in northern Michigan. I always figured the nearness to the lake was my ace in the hole and felt very fortunate to have a supply so close. Your message helped me to think it through and tweak any flaws in my plan. Also, we save large cat litter jugs for what we call flush water. We mark the jugs as not safe for drinking, and when our power goes out, the water pump is down, we still have the luxury of flushing the toilets. This person, this is about taking money out of the bank. I sold a piece of property. It had the exact same problem. And CBA, I guess it's Commonwealth Bank of Australia, one of the biggest banks here. They froze my account altogether after I ordered $20,000 in Australian money. Repeatedly, within a week notice, they wanted to know why I wanted it and claimed they were not convinced that I really need the money. So bottom line, the person wanted their money out and the bank was trying to justify giving it to them. Stating that they refused to let me withdraw it. After I complained to the authorities, some type of banking regulator, they froze all of my accounts, including my shared trading account. I eventually, after a week of wrangling, managed to transfer it to a bullion dealer and empty my business account this way. At the dealer, they told me that a lot of their customers are having trouble getting their funds out, which at least covers all 4 of the big banks here. We call them the Big Four. I still cannot sell my shares, which will cost me money as they're going down, down, and down. Luckily, this was the last of my properties I sold, and I managed to get all my funds out just in time. My goal was to have everything out of the banking system by the end of August. This person was at our local nursery today to purchase some bean seeds. I had just planted my last packet, so I had the empty one in my pocket. They said that seeds 30% year over year. So it's very important. Get what you need now because everything is going up in price. Went to my local Kroger store. No potatoes at all. Potato shortage is evident here. I am an operating room nurse at a hospital in Virginia. Today, a surgeon generously offered to buy lunch for the entire operating room. 90 minutes after placing an online order at a nearby Panera Bread, they saw the order was canceled because of the price. Over $200 was too high to process in a single payment. They tried calling the store and could never get an answer. Next, they tried a local-owned pizza shop. The person who answered said they could not help them because there was only one person working and they had to wait on tables. Next, they called a local-owned Italian restaurant that is a local favorite. They were put on hold for over 30 minutes and they finally gave up. I don't see how businesses are going to survive if they can't even provide service to earn money. This was over $200 in lost businesses for anyone who is willing or able to earn it. My husband went to the bank to get a money order for rent like he had done for years, but this time the teller said they could not do any more money orders because they have reached their 10-day limit. My husband complained because he works nights and that was the only time he could get the money order. The manager did do it for him, but it was very strange. Why are they only going to do 10 money orders? I work at a printing shop, I will just say in Arizona. The workers and I have become very friendly with the UPS guy, United States Postal Service worker that delivers on the campus and around campus. Over the last few months, he has reportedly delivered many eviction notices per week, and he told us that he had delivered as many as 40 in one day. Sad to see these college kids and others getting kicked out because of the rent. This person's living in Minnesota. And I'm going to have a procedure coming up in September 12th, which concerns me. This is the day that the nurses in Minnesota could begin their strike. At first, I wasn't thinking too much about it, but now I'm a bit concerned. I still have some time to decide, but I'm supposed to have a COVID test a week from today and then start to prep on the 11th. So hopefully the nurses don't strike. Hopefully they can work it out so patients' care is not suffered. After I was leaving the bank, I noticed an elderly woman sitting in her car counting her money in plain sight. She had some in her hand and the rest was on her lap. She was totally oblivious to her surroundings. My first instinct was to knock on her window and tell her to put the money away and finish counting at home. But I was afraid I'd scare her, so I went to my car and sat there until she was finished to make sure nothing happened. Fortunately, nothing happened. Some people are just making themselves an easy mark, an easy target. It's so important to stay vigilant at all times, especially in the world it is today. We live in York County, South Carolina. My wife left for Michigan early yesterday for her 13-plus hour drive to northern Michigan. She spent the night in a hotel in Ohio to make the trip easier. When she called me, I asked her about the truck traffic. She said there was no shortages of truck on the expressway, especially in Ohio and Michigan. As a matter of fact, she said truck traffic is heavy, very heavy. I asked her how many fuel trucks or tankers she had seen because of the refinery shutdown in Indiana that services the surrounding states with gas. She said 0. She hadn't seen one fuel truck on the road up there yesterday or today. Now, this is a holiday weekend and northern Michigan is usually slammed with holiday partiers. I hope people up there think it through. It looks like gas is going to be a big problem. I honestly don't know. I haven't had any major reports of any gas shortages. I think they're getting it distributed because I have 0 references to shortages. This is a small town of about 10,000 people, and it's located northeast of Dallas. We are seeing a considerable uptick in violent incidents in this area. Just crime reports, many crime reports. Here's an update from Gainesville, Florida. I went to my local Walmart Supercenter today. The produce section had lots of empty bins. I got the last tomato in the store. Potatoes were very low. The rice section were also noticeably low. There were only a few bags in the 1 to 5 pound range. CO prices are still up about 25% from last year, but the selection was good. However, chips are running $6 to $7 for the vending machine size bags. Cooking oil and pasta are expensive, but in stock. He did mention how the price of lumber in his area is going down, so that is good news. Electricity is still affordable where I live in the country, but my accountant says people in town are already paying over $700 a month. This is from the Dallas suburbs. Saltine crackers are getting hard to find, and 2 stores were out of them today. Lots of holes everywhere in the stores, and products are fronted. Prices are way up on everything, food and non-food items alike. Best Buy and the Vitamin Shop are no longer giving you plastic bags for your purchases. You have to buy them. I joked with the grocer cashier last week asking if they still take cash. She responded that more and more people are paying with cash lately. Interesting. The manager of the taco shop told me that when he tries to get rolls of change at the bank, they often don't have them. They will only give him a roll of quarters, and sometimes even though he needs the other coins as well to make change. Last Friday, I went to a very popular pizza place, and it was in Fresno, California. Normally, this place is very busy with long waits, and I call ahead only to still wait, going 20 minutes to pick up my pizza. Last Friday at 1:45 p.m., the guy behind the counter informed me when I was taking my pizza that was first customer of the day. It was shocking. People are not going out to restaurants; they're saving their money. So there you go. This is some boots on the ground. If you guys have anything to offer, please send it to southernprepper1@yahoo.com. It's very useful for people to gauge what's happening with the logistical supply chain and also to gauge with inflation. Thanks for watching.